Just so you know what you're talking about.
That would be better if I knew what I was talking about. Hi, welcome to Babylon Radio. I am your host, Luke Lawrence, and our guest this week is Jay Godeaux. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you.
So, Jay, uh, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you get your first instrument? What inspired you to do so?
Well, my first instrument was tuba when I was 11. Um, I wanted to play it because it made fart noises, and I thought that was pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah,
Uh,
being 11, fart noises make sense.
it's still fun.
Yeah.
But then I picked up a bass guitar at 12, and that's pretty much my main instrument.
So, what inspired you to pick up the bass?
Well, actually, there's this comedy duo that did this show in Dallas, Texas, and there was a this I don't know, kind of a big fat Native American guy playing a 12-string guitar, and then there was this nerdy white dude playing a bass. And as nerdy as that white dude was, like he was awesome because he was playing bass. And so I was like, well, that's me. So
So, musically, when you were 12, what were the bands that you were wanting to learn their songs? Or let me see
um,
if I can word that better. So, when you were 12, what were some of the bands that inspired you to actually want to play bass?
um, well, actually, I never had a teacher at first, so I actually taught myself to play by learning Metallica's first three albums by ear. Um, so yeah, that kind of stuff, heavy metal.
Thrash,
Yeah, thrash.
thrashing
When
around.
Metallica was thrash, when they were awesome. Now they suck.
Yeah, they don't suck too much, you
Well,
know.
I know, but they suck compared to what they
'Cause,
used to
like,
be.
Saint Anger was like.
If we could time travel and we could have like the old school Metallica, Cliff Burton, okay, um, but then have James Hetfield now singing, because like back in the day he had this high voice and he sounded like a Tool. Now he has a low voice and he sounds like a Tool, but it's better.
So, musically, you liked heavier things, you were teaching yourself. When did you start learning more about music?
Um, well, I'd say I never really took it seriously till I was about 15. When I was 15, I auditioned on tuba actually, and uh, went in this national ensemble, and we went to Europe and played for like a month in the summer. And I guess before then, I never really thought twice about it. But then after that, I realized that well, maybe I can actually do something with music. So I'd say about 15, yeah.
Because anytime I have a question about music, I can ask you. You'd
Yeah,
be like, oh, that's Dorian.
yeah,
For those of you who don't know, that's a mode.
yeah. I actually, fun story. Um, I discovered modes and then discovered that someone else had already discovered them. But I felt pretty good about it for like a week.
That you had made the discovery
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
yeah.
So we're going to be showcasing a few of the songs that you did when you were in Texas with Sivin and the Adore. We're going to start out with Sivin, and this is a song you wrote.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't supposed to be in the band full time. Their bass player moved, and I started playing with them, and well, we just kind of started writing. And yeah, this is a song that I don't know where it came from. It has a kind of a funky bass line, and I named it Sparkle Sparkle Robot. And it's like the only song I ever wrote with Sivan, so
So why is it called Sparkle Sparkle Robot?
I don't know.
An amazing name.
I have no idea. I was actually thinking about it last night because I thought that might come up. I have no idea.
Well, here is Sparkle Sparkle Robot. Why isn't it playing? I don't hear it. Do you hear it?
I don't hear it.
Okay, you guys are really failing. Just joking.
When you Google Sparkle Sparkle Robot, like My Little Pony comes up.
Sparkle Sparkle Pony.
Yeah.
So that was Sparkle Sparkle Robot by Sivan, and that was really funky and fresh. And I'm going 1991 on my vocabulary. The style of the band is very like that. If I were going to call it anything, I would just make up dancecore.
Yeah, dancecore's pretty good. It was sort of a mix of like a driving hardcore with synth, and yeah, just like in this song, we tried to put a dance beat wherever we could.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like to dance? I mean,
And then there's the breakdown.
yeah.
and it works.
Yeah.
It works really well. I feel like that song could easily be in some movie where they're driving really fast, which is a lot of movies now. They like to drive fast in movies and chase people.
It could be in Deadpool too.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that would be cool. Beatles or Stones.
Beatles.
Almost everyone has said Beatles. I'm going to reiterate that one person said Slayer one time.
That is also a valid answer.
All right, what is something musically that you listen to that people might not expect from you? A guilty pleasure.
Well, I think it actually goes both ways. People that know me when I'm dressed like this are surprised that I really love Pantera and Lamb of God and Whitechapel and Gojira and Arch Enemy and just really rip your face off metal. And then the people who know me when I don't dress like this, where I dress like my normal self, probably surprised that I love like Rilo Kiley and Damien Rice and Neutral Milk Hotel and stuff like that.
That is the answer to that question, but I know you as both ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to find something that I might be surprised to know of a guilty pleasure, something that you're kind of embarrassed to say you like. Like for me, I really love Kesha. I will throw it out there.
Okay.
I love Kesha.
If this is where you're going, I really enjoy Lord.
Lord,
Can't help it.
I can get into Lord, and there's no problem with that.
No.
Now, if you would have said Kanye West, I would be like, oh, something is wrong with your brain.
Yeah, no, not Kanye West.
So,
My parents didn't drop me on my head as a child.
yeah, you know what? I fell down the stairs as a child.
Still no Kanye West.
I still know Kanye West.
Man Bear Pig is real. That makes me think of Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, because they had these themes for like all the different characters and the different situations and stuff, and like the theme would always come up, and it's not always the same. It's largely the same, and it's largely on like synth instruments from the 80s, and it's just like the most terrible sounding thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh no, I love 80s synth music.
Yeah, well,
I love new wave music. I throw it out there.
we diverge a little bit there.
Two paths in the woods.
And one's 80s and the other one's not.
One is
That's how the poem goes, right?
Yeah, the poem is two paths emerged in the woods. One was 80s and one was not. And I went down the 80s path and
Came out the other end pastel colored
I came out pastel colored.
and like, you know,
I had
warmers
crimped
and-
hair, leg warmers. I started jazzercising.
Yes.
If you think I'm like a kind of big guy now, you should have seen me before I was jazzercising. So, I have almost all of the Adore songs that you've given me.
Mhm.
I don't know the titles of any of them. It's just like demo one.
You know what's funny? I know the titles of two of them, and I wrote them.
Okay.
One of them is called Grindabilly, and the other one is called College Education.
Okay.
And that's actually my favorite song because it's the one song where, well, Theodore was just bass and drums. I mean, that's all it was. And most people would think, well, the drummer just plays along with, you know, whatever the bass player is playing. But College Education is one of my favorite songs because that's the song that the drummer, Zach, wrote. Actually, he just started playing a beat, and for some reason, it was a song to me. So,
First, we're going to do College Education.
College Education. I know, it sounds silly, but
So that was College Education by The Adore. Fun fact that I know about The Adore is that at every show you would like say a different band name or
Yeah,
something.
we never played more than one show with the same name. We our names were Yo Soy Rock Fury, um, Florida Television, Young Goodman Brown. I can't remember the other ones.
I remember Young Goodman Brown. I
Yeah.
remember you telling me that, and I was like, "Well, what should I put it under on my playlist?" When I and you're like, "Well, The Adore is
It
fine."
was the last name that we had. Yeah, it
So
was the name that we had when we recorded our album too.
okay, cool.
So I guess we
So
stuck with that.
you were a two-piece band,
Mhm.
and I happen to know this story, so I'm going to ask. You were playing a show, and you told everyone something about that had happened to your guitarist. Would you please just share that story because I think it's kind of a magical story.
All right. It was pretty funny. Okay. So to set the scene, we were at this club in downtown Houston. Walter's on Washington. I still have a picture from that very show. And we got up on stage, and when we would set up, people were expecting more people, so they didn't really like come to the front of the stage like, okay, we're ready. We know that you're ready to play. So, I would usually have to announce there's nobody else coming. This is just us. So anyway, at that show, I said that, we were dedicating our set to our guitar player who had lost his arms in the Peace Corps. And, all of our songs were going to be for him. And
Yeah.
I think the best part of that was we played our set without a hitch. Afterwards, just about every person that came up to us to say, hey, good job or whatever, they're like, man, imagine what you guys would be like with a guitar player. And I was like, dude, I'm just yanking your chain, man. We don't have a guitar player. We don't need none of those twangy strings.
So, all right. Well, here is the outro song. I really want to. I really want to
Just-
put it out there.
Just call it Sleep with the Dead.
"Sleep with the Dead"
Yeah.
by The Adore.
Sleep with the dead, good night. Sleep with the dead, good night. Sleep with the dead, good night. Sleep with the dead, good night.
Is there anything you would want to say to any musicians out there that are just starting or?
Yeah. I would say that talent doesn't mean anything. Hard work is what matters. You can be talented and coast by on that talent, and you will never develop, you'll never grow, you'll just be the same thing, and that's it. You're basically signing your own musical death warrant. I have seen people with very little talent who have worked really, really hard, and in the end have greater skill and ability than the people who do have all the talent. So
Natural
that's
talent.
what I would say. As a teacher, that's what I tend to focus on.
Practice, practice, practice.
Yes, and again, as a teacher, I never praise anyone for their talent because talent is something that you don't work for, you don't earn, you just have it, and that's great. It's a great thing to build on, but you've got to actually do some work in order to make anything out of it.
People think you can just pick up a guitar and like, here's these chords, this is the shape, and they think their fingers should magically be able
Yeah.
to play these shapes, or that their fingers shouldn't hurt. But if it hurts, you know you're doing well.
Yeah, I'd say in that vein, just a bit of background for me when I started playing bass at 12. I pretty much practiced 7 to 8 hours a day every single day. That's the only reason that I was able to develop any type of skill. It's because I played constantly. And yeah, it hurt really bad for the first, couple weeks, but then it doesn't. And ever since then, I've had calluses that I could just probably stab with a knife and they're fine. Yeah. And I made time to practice too. It wasn't just, I don't feel like playing this video game and I don't really want to go, play basketball or do whatever people do. It was, I got up early before school, extra time to practice. Got home from school, practiced, got a little something to eat, relaxed for a few, practice, stayed up late to practice, did the same thing every single day.
Well, that is our show this week. I want to thank Jay Godeaux for being our guest.
Good to be you.
And we will see you next time